Hey guys, Fraser Hatyai here, and welcome to the Fraser Hatyai Show. I've just made up a batch of kava. If you watch my channel, you know that I love to drink kava, a root beverage from the Pacific Islands. So I've just made up a batch. I'm sat outside. It's Sunday, just finishing off the week with some kava, relaxing, and I thought, let's have some more kava chat. What I'm going to talk about today is going to be helpful for people living in Europe, America, elsewhere right now, who are thinking about teaching English in Asia. Okay, so why do I want to talk about this today? So this is just something I've got a lot of experience in. I've taught English for almost 10 years now, all around the world. From in Asia, I've taught in China, China, Vietnam, and Thailand, not Japan. And outside Asia, I've taught in Vanuatu, Pacific Island nation, where I discovered my love for kava. So anyway, sorry for the bad lighting. I'm sat outside, and if I move, the lighting changes a bit. Anyway, so I just want to talk about the opportunities nowadays for for teachers, not online, to move abroad and get a job teaching English. Firstly, why would you want to do that? Your intention may be because you want to experience living in a new country, and this is one of the easiest jobs you can get. Or your motivation may be that you love teaching English and you want to experience it in different cultures and countries. Anyway, what are your options nowadays in 2020 in the current situation? If I say the word of the current situation, this video gets demonetized and is pushed less, I think. May not be true. I may be paranoid. Anyway, let me talk about what are your options these days. So, let's say you are a Westerner back in home. Okay, I can only talk about the options for native English speakers because that's my experience. If you're a non-native, maybe you can watch a video about a non-native teacher and their experience finding work abroad, because the opportunities and the whole situation is different. Anyway, so let me talk about your options. So firstly, you got to decide where you want to go. It depends on really two motivations. Is your motivation to go and teach English abroad because you want to earn and save money? Or is your motivation to go and teach English abroad because you want to experience new cultures and have a good lifestyle in a different country? For most people, it's the second. For some, it's the first. If it is for the first, I recommend you go and teach in somewhere like China, or Japan, or Korea. Korea more than Japan, because Japan, the cost of living is higher. Or outside of Asia, the Middle East, Saudi Arabia, Dubai, United Arab Emirates. There are lots of opportunities in these countries where you can earn $4,000 or more a month, even to $5,000 and $6,000 a month if you're qualified and you can prove yourself in an interview. Alright, so what if you're the second guy and you just want to get out of your country and travel and teach abroad in a country in Asia so that you can live there and experience the culture? In that case, I would recommend Thailand or Vietnam. Now, these are two countries that I've taught in. I've taught in Asia, I've taught in China, Thailand, and Vietnam. The reason I wouldn't recommend China is, like, if you've never been to Asia, going to China will be a huge shock, and more of a culture shock than Vietnam or Thailand, and less fun than Vietnam and Thailand. It's a totally different place. I don't know how to explain it, but the food's not as good. For me, the culture's not as interesting. The people are not as friendly always. Like, I'm generalizing. It's hard to explain, but as a first-time traveler, you're gonna have a better experience in somewhere like Thailand and Vietnam, I think, than China. I know that because tons of teachers who work in Thailand and then they want to save a little bit extra money, they go to work in China for a year or two, save some money, and come back. So, again, just talking about my experience, I can tell you a lot about Vietnam and Thailand because I've worked there for a long time. And that's what I'm going to do in this video, and tell you what your options are in 2020. So I don't teach in a school, and I haven't for really. I went back into one a little bit part-time last year, but apart from that, I haven't really taught in a school for 3 years. The last 3 years, I've been doing more online teaching and mainly moving on to the recruiting side. So I do recruit for schools in Vietnam if you're looking for a position. Not hiring at the moment, but I just helped my friend get a position in Vietnam, and he should be moving there in 1 month's time. Now, he lives in England, and Vietnam is... England's a high-risk country for corona. Vietnam is a low-risk country right now, so we're going to have to see what the travel situation is in a month from now. But I think it will be possible because although there's risks now, schools are going to be opening next month in Asia, in most places, and they're going to need teachers. So you may have to be quarantined for 14 days when you arrive. You may not be. You may have to have a medical certificate. I don't know fully, but there will be opportunities if you look for them. And if you're really pissed off about being locked down in Europe and America now, and you want to leave your country, do something different, try something else, this video is for you. So, what are the two options? You've got Thailand, you've got Vietnam. Firstly, what are the requirements from you? What do you need? Let me drink a shell of kava. You don't drink it for the taste. So what are the options for you? I don't know if I'm looking at the camera or not. It looks like I'm not. Anyway, I'm going to sit back. Welcome to Kava Chat, my ramblingnesses on an evening, Sunday night. Alright, so firstly, Thailand. What do you need to come work in Thailand? Generally, you need a BA degree in any subject and a TEFL. If you want a TEFL and need one, go through my affiliate link, get one online. I'll get a bit of a kickback. Fully accredited TEFL that I recommend. I recommend it to all the teachers that I hire, that I put into positions, and the TEFL works. And it's very easy and fast, complete online. So that's my sponsor for the day. Check it out if you need one. Anyway, so those are the two basic requirements. Teachers may ask, can I teach in Asia without a degree? Yes. Is it easy? No. Is it possible? Yes. How do I know? Because I've done it. When I first came here, I didn't have a degree, and I got one online. A real degree online while I've been living here in Asia, in Thailand. But when I arrived here, when I was 18 years old, I didn't have one, and I managed to get teaching work. Obviously, it's different now than it was back then, but is it still possible? Yes. Sometimes it might not be legal, sometimes it may be legal. In Thailand, you can teach in a language center, and they can provide a work permit for someone without a degree. They can apply for it through a different way. So it is possible, but it's more difficult. And if you're in that situation, I advise you to save as much money as you can. Just buy a plane ticket, arrive here, and then just go around walking into schools looking for jobs, throwing around your resume, and I guarantee you'll find something. So yes, you can, but it's not the legitimate way to do it. The minimum requirements are really a BA and a TEFL, and that's the same for Vietnam too. But again, it is possible to work in Vietnam without a degree too, but not always that easy, and sometimes you have to do it illegally. Anyway, don't recommend anyone to do that. I'm just telling you the truth, telling you the truth in the current situation. Anyway, so let's say you want to work in Thailand. How much can you make? And what kind of lifestyle can you live as a teacher in Thailand? So now we're living in 2020. It's different to was when I came here in 2010. Now there's also the opportunity to earn. Well, there was the opportunity to earn online now, but now it's even easier because you can even teach English online now, which anybody who speaks English and is qualified can do. So it's possible to top up your earnings with online work or with additional part-time work too, but I'm not going to talk about that. I'm just going to talk about applying and working in a school in Thailand. What are your options? Generally, outside of Bangkok, you're looking at 30,000, 35,000, 40,000 Thai baht, 1,000, 1,200 USD, something like that. Or in Bangkok, you could potentially find a position for 40, 45, or even 50,000 per month, or maybe even 60 if you're really lucky and you're working more hours or doing a different kind of job. And there's also a lot of options to supplement it with evening and weekend work in language centers. So you can easily make 50, 60k in Bangkok, or 30, 40 in rural areas pretty easily. Now, again, you could top that up online and make another 40,000 and take your salary to 100k. That's very possible these days in Asia, in Thailand. So what's your cost of living? So I'll tell you about my two experiences. When I first came here, I went and worked in Sisaket, which is in the northeast of Thailand, in the Isan region. And my salary was 35,000 baht, teaching in a primary school in Sisaket, Kukan, Sisaket. And what was my lifestyle like? So my expenses, mine were a little bit less. I'm going to guess that accommodation is a little bit more expensive now, but basically up in Sisaket or up in Isan or in a rural area, 5,000 baht a month, you can get a decent room, or even a house. You can get a whole house, 5,000 baht in Sisaket. So that's your first expense. What else? Food. Depends how you eat. If you eat like a Thai, 3 to 5,000 baht a month. If you eat like a Thai. If you eat like a foreigner, 6 to 10,000 baht a month for food. So let's say you do it in the middle, 6,000 a month. So you've got your 35,000 salary, minus 5, that's your accommodation, you're left with 30. You take off 6 for food, you're left with 24. What are your other expenses? Maybe you rent a motorbike, 2,000. That takes you to 22. Electricity and water, maybe 2,000. That takes you to 20. Maybe you spend a lot. Maybe you have internet, a mobile phone, and other little bits of expenses. 1,000. That leaves you with 19,000 baht left to either enjoy yourself or save. If you're gonna start drinking, 19,000 is going out 2-3 times a week and having good nights out in rural Thailand for sure. Eating good food, maybe even getting fucking lobster and shit. Like, you're much better than you can in your home country. You live much better. So that's your option there. So can you come to Thailand with a BA in any subject and a TEFL and get a decent job in rural Thailand to give yourself a nice lifestyle? Yes, you can. How many hours will you expected to work per week? Around 20 to 25. That's it. Some schools may require you to check in the morning and check out on an evening, so be careful when applying. Look for opportunities that don't require you to do things like gate duty and checking in and checking out and sitting in an office when you have no teaching time. I'd say 70% of positions want you to do that, but the positions that you don't have to do that exist, because I've worked in a lot of different schools, and maybe 70-80% of the positions I've had have been fortunate, have been positions where I go in, I do my job, I teach, and I leave. That's it. Which has been better for me. Now you may want the full immersive school experience where you're in the office 40 hours a week, teaching 20, chatting with your co-workers. If you're new to Thailand, that might be a fun thing to do anyway, so you might not care. But if you want to optimize your time, it's better to look for positions that don't require you to do office time and gate duty and shit like that. Alright, so that's your options for if you're in rural Thailand. Let's say you want to be in the big, what do they call Bangkok? The Big Mango. You want to be in the Big Mango, Bangkok. Let me quickly do another shell. If you want to be in Bangkok, so you're going to earn more. You can easily earn 50k a month teaching in Bangkok. And there's going to be lots of opportunities, guys, especially once they start allowing people back in Thailand in 2 to 3 months, I think. There will be lots of options here because a lot of teachers left when this happened. When embassies start saying this is your last chance to leave Thailand, this is your last chance to leave Vietnam before flights may close, a lot of teachers and stuff left. So next term, when schools open, like, this is a fucked up situation, but schools are going to open, schools are going to need teachers, so there's going to be ways of you getting into the country. Like I said, I just got my friend a job in Vietnam, and I think he'll be there in a month. Things are starting to get set up, and now, so we'll see how that goes. Anyway, yeah, so let's say you wanted to work in the Big Mango. What are your expenses? So if you're working in Bangkok, rent, what's it going to cost you? Let's say you're earning 50k. Your rent's going to be anywhere in Bangkok from 7,000 to 15,000, really, depending on what you want and what area you want to live in. Obviously, you can spend more if you want, but I'm talking about a reasonable amount that you need to spend. Again, let me just mention, life is going to cost you a lot more if you're not single or if you drink a lot in Thailand. Drinking a lot in Thailand will cost you a lot of money very fast. So if you don't drink and you're single, you'll live really cheaply here and you'll have a good time. If you have a girlfriend or wife and you do like your drinks, you're probably not going to save much at the end of the month. Anyway, onward. So in Bangkok, you're probably going to pay around 10k maybe, let's say average for accommodation. Food, what's it going to cost you to eat in Bangkok? It'll cost you a little bit more, but again, if you want to eat cheap, you can. If you want to eat like a Thai and eat a Thai diet and Thai food, you can. So again, it's from 3,000 minimum eating a Thai diet up to 10,000 eating a foreigner's diet and eating out a lot at restaurants and Western restaurants too. And that can even go up to 15 and 20,000 if you're eating out every couple days or whatever. Depends, like, it depends how you budget it. So let's say a normal person probably spend 10k a month on food in Bangkok. So that's 10k for your room, 10k for your food. You're left with 30k. You're probably going to pay a couple thousand in electricity and water. Again, 1,000 for mobile phone, internet, other little bits of shit. So that leaves you 27,000 baht in Bangkok to either enjoy yourself or save. Okay, so another expense that you have in Bangkok, of course, is travel. Depending on where you live, you may have to take BTS and taxis and things like that, and that can easily cost another 5,000-10,000 a month, depending on how clever you are and where you, if you live close to your work or not, and things like that. It can add up. Even traveling on the Sky Train, the BTS, it can be 60-70 baht a time, back and forth, 3, 4, 5 times a day. That adds up, doesn't it? So yeah, that can be another expense in Bangkok that you don't always notice and you don't realize, what the fuck, where have I spent 10,000 from? It's been travel, taxes, shit. So yeah, but still, at the end of the day, Can you have a nice lifestyle as a teacher in Bangkok? Yes, you can. Okay, let's talk about Vietnam, the other option, and then I will finish this video for today. So, what are your options for teaching English in Vietnam? So, like I said, I recruited somebody into a position recently in Vietnam. So, and they'll be going. They've actually already been to check it out, and then they went back to UK before the Corona lockdown happened, and then he's planning on moving back in a month or so, so that should be cool. And there may be other positions opening up in that same city, and I've got a few contacts in Saigon that are going to be looking for teachers very soon. So in Vietnam you will generally earn more than in Thailand, and the cost of living is a little bit lower. Alcohol is cheaper in Vietnam. Accommodation is sometimes a little bit more depending on the city you're in. Food and drink is usually a little bit lower, and the options for cheap Western food are more in Vietnam than in Thailand. Depending if you're, I'm talking if you're in the main cities, Hanoi, Saigon. So yeah, how much can you earn in Saigon? Maybe 2,000, 2,500, even. I'd say 2 to 2.5 for a starting position in Saigon or Hanoi. There's lower paying jobs there, but it's going to be 30-40% more than Thailand basically, and the cost of living is about the same, maybe slightly lower. So why don't you go to Vietnam instead of Thailand? That comes down to personal choice. Which country and culture do you think you will enjoy the most? Vietnam is a bigger culture shock than Thailand. It's more crazy. It's wild. It's different. I love both countries, but I prefer to live in Thailand. But you may prefer to live in Vietnam. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say today. Yeah, the other option in Asia is going to work in China, but like I said, generally, like, okay, so this comes down to lifestyle. You're probably going to enjoy yourself more living in Thailand or Vietnam than you ever would in China. I've lived in China, I know what it's like. I got friends, and I know I've got so many friends who have worked and taught in Thailand or Vietnam, then had an opportunity to earn like 120,000 baht a month in Beijing. Gone to Beijing for a year, saved a ton of money and come back, but told me they've hated it. They were happy they were making money, but they didn't enjoy the country or the culture or the lifestyle there. So, and the people. I'm not saying Chinese people are bad. I have tons of Chinese friends. I have a good childhood Chinese friend. I'm not generalizing there, but maybe I am a little. I think you'll get on more with people in Vietnam and Thailand than you may in China. I don't know. You'll see. That's just been my experience. Anyway, and the food and the beaches and other things like that, you're going to have a better time in Vietnam and Thailand than you are in, and the nightlife too, than you are in China. China. Can you do that Donald Trump China? How does he do it? China. It's fucking funny. Anyway, yeah, so those are your options. And that's why I suggest Thailand, Vietnam over China. If you want to make money, go to China. If you want to enjoy yourself and have a nice lifestyle as a teacher, go to Vietnam or Thailand. So I hope this video helps people who are thinking about moving to Asia to teach English and are a bit worried about the current situation of Corona. I do guarantee, well, you know what? I'll put it out there. I guarantee as soon as schools open in Thailand, schools have already opened in Vietnam and they're starting to need teachers. That's why my friend's going to be going there very soon, within a month. But as soon as schools in July open in Thailand as well, a lot of teachers left. There's going to be a demand. They're going to need teachers. They're going to have to let people in. I don't know how they're going to do it. If they're going to quarantine you, make you do a test and get a certificate, whatever they're going to do, it's going to be possible because they're going to need workers to come to Thailand. So that should wrap up my video today, and I hope it helped, and cheers to Kava. And if you were expecting part 4 of my life story video in this posting, sorry I haven't got around to doing it yet. I will try and post it in the next, by Wednesday. It just takes so long to search around the my old social media profiles to find all the old photos and stuff. Anyway, take it easy guys, I'm going to drink the shell now and end the video.